Do you doubt yourself a lot? Do you doubt if you're ever going to achieve those goals and dreams which you've set? If you do, this video is for you. So what I want to do is I want to share 5 reasons why you doubt yourself, what your psychology is trying to teach you, and give you 5 solutions to help you with overcoming self-doubt. Because if you are experiencing self-doubt, it's probably making you procrastinate a lot. It's making you hesitate a lot, and probably giving you these limited beliefs about yourself, thinking that you're not capable, you're not smart enough, you're not good enough, or whatever. And the thing is with self-doubt is it's feedback. Your self-doubt is trying to teach you something, and there's certain things you have going on in your awareness which is giving you these symptoms of doubting yourself. So I'm just gonna get straight into it. The first reason why you doubt yourself is the goal or the action you're trying to achieve. It's just not important enough to you. Because the truth is, if something's really important to you, you don't doubt yourself. You go after it with 100% of your effort and energy. But anything you perceive as not important to you, you don't really want to go after it. And the self-doubt is trying to teach you that you're going after something, you're trying to pursue something, a goal or an action, which just isn't that important to you. And it's trying to get you back on track with doing something you love. So that's the first reason. The second reason why you have self-doubt is the goal or the action you're trying to pursue. You don't have a game plan. You don't know what the actions you're supposed to take are. You don't know how to achieve that goal, whether it's an ultimate goal or there's a certain part of the puzzle piece. You're just not clear on what you're supposed to be doing to help you get what you want. Hence the self-doubt. The third reason why you have self-doubt is essentially the goal or the action you're trying to pursue. It's too big. It's too big for your awareness. Imagine if I said to you, we had an elephant here and I said, eat that elephant in one sitting. You'd probably experience a lot of self-doubt. Why? Well, because in your awareness, that goal, that objective of eating the elephant in one sitting is too big. And in your perception, it's impossible. You're gonna doubt yourself and your abilities. It's the same thing with your goals and dreams. If you think that that objective, the goal or the action is too big, of course you're gonna experience self-doubt. It's feedback that the objective is too big and it's impossible or it's unachievable in your perception. The fourth reason why you experience self-doubt is, that goal or that objective, that action, the time frame you're trying to achieve it in is too small. You're not giving yourself enough time to achieve it, and you're doubting whether you can achieve that objective, that action, in that time frame you're giving yourself. And the fifth and the final reason is the goal or the action you're trying to complete, the objective you set yourself. You've set a fantasy. And what I mean by that is the goal or the action, you can see all the positives and you can't see the negatives. You've not factored in the costs or the downsides of pursuing that thing. And the self-doubt is feedback. It's trying to bring your awareness to that other side of the coin, which you're just overlooking. Self-doubt's actually a pretty amazing thing. It's trying to get your intuition online to see both sides. So if you're experiencing self-doubt, I can probably bet that you're doubting yourself because of one or a combination of those things, or maybe all of those things. So if you want to overcome self-doubt, really, it's just doing the opposite of those things. So solution number 1, it's making sure that that goal or the objective is important enough to you. And it's actually setting goals aligned with what's important to you. Or if there's a goal or objective which just isn't simply that important to you in your perception, but you've got to do it to get what you want, one thing you can do is something called linking. And basically all that is a stacking benefits in terms of you going after that action or achieving that goal. Because anything which you see as positive, you want to seek, you want to bring into your life. And if something's not that important to you in your perception, the more benefits you stack, what you're actually doing is you're rewiring your brain and seeing it as something to seek, something to pursue and bring into your life. So if it's not that important to you, the more benefits you stack in terms of how is me pursuing and doing this action, or how is me achieving this goal going to benefit me? The more benefits, the more positives you associate with that action or goal, the more likely you are to want to go after it and achieve it. And the less self-doubt you're going to have, because you only doubt yourself in terms of things which you perceive as not important to you and you're trying to achieve. You're trying to maybe please someone else, like a role model or a family figure or a boss or a colleague or whoever, right? But you don't doubt yourself in terms of doing things which you love or things which are important to you. And anything you perceive more positive, the more important it is to you. So that's one thing you can do to help you with overcoming self-doubt. It's basically align the goal to things you value. The more positives you put on the goal or action, the more valuable you're going to perceive it as, and the less doubt you're going to have in terms of pursuing it. Second thing, well, if you don't have a plan in terms of how to achieve the goal or the action, get a game plan. Put some time into thinking, what are the action steps to help me achieve this objective or achieve this ultimate goal? What have I got to do? What have I got to learn? Who have I got to meet? Who have I got to associate with? And if you have no idea, well, Google or ChatGPT are some amazing places to start just to get some ideas flowing. Or whatever the goal of the action is, who comes to mind in terms of helping you achieve that? And seek them out, seek out their guidance. Whatever it is, if you are not clear on the action steps, of course you're going to doubt yourself because you're guessing. And you just sort of like, it's 50-50. Well, is this going to help me achieve it or not? Of course you're going to doubt yourself. But when you know exactly what you need to do to get what you want, the more clear on the game plan, the less self-doubt you're going to have. The third thing I said, where if the goal in your perception or the action step you're wanting to take is too big and that's why you're doubting yourself, well, what you can do is you can chunk down that goal or action step. It's like, imagine if I said to you, let's say, I love swimming. So let's say if you don't know how to swim and you're expecting yourself to swim the Olympics in the next Olympics, which is actually this year, of course you're going to doubt yourself because the goal is too big. But what if I said to you, or what if you said to me, well, I do want to swim in the Olympics, but that's a long-term goal. But right now I just want to actually get better at swimming. And you chunked down that goal into an action step of, I'm just going to go to the pool, sign up to a swimming class. You've chunked down that really big goal into an action step to start with. And if you map out a plan of your plan against the Olympics and you chunk down that plan into lots of little action steps, small action steps, small bites, like the elephant, if you chop up the elephant into small bites and you just focus on one bite at a time, it's a lot more manageable and achievable. And if you just set the intention that I'm just gonna have one bite per day of this elephant, you're not gonna doubt yourself because that big, overwhelming piece of the puzzle is just into little jigsaw pieces. And you just take one bite at a time. It's the same thing with your goals. If you perceive the goal you've set or the action's too big, chunk it down. And what does that look like for you? Take some time to think about all these little action pieces which take up the objective or the goal. Just start with action number one. And by doing that, by chunking down your goal or your action into small action steps, that's going to probably help you with reducing self-doubt. The fourth thing is, well, if you've, say, like I speak to and have coached quite a few financial traders, and when they're starting off on their journey, they want to quit their job and they want to become a full-time trader in like 6 months or a year. And the time frame they've given themselves is far too short in their perception. If you've got a plan and if you've got a strategy and you know what action steps you're going to do and you've chunked it down into daily steps and it's clear, it's achievable in your perception, then the time frame's irrelevant. But if sometimes like the Olympics, and it takes decades sometimes, it takes lots of effort, lots of things. Sometimes it's just giving yourself more time, setting realistic time frames on yourself. And simply, I worked with a trader once, and he wants to basically quit his job in a year, and he was experiencing self-doubt. And then basically, I reality tested this individual, and I basically said, with the Olympics and with sports and everything, it takes them lots of years. So why do you think you can do this in 6 months to a year? You got to be real. Do you think you could do this in 2 years? And just got him to basically see that 2 years is a lot more of a realistic time frame and a lot can happen in 2 years. Once he set the goal of actually being more real and quitting a job in 2 years, the self-doubt evaporated because he wasn't putting so much pressure on himself to basically achieve the goal in such a short period of time. He gave himself a lot more of a longer period of time and actually focused on what were all the in-between steps, like building the skills and the knowledge and the foundations in order to get that really big goal. So what I'm trying to say is, if you're putting a lot of pressure on yourself to achieve a result in a short time frame, of course you're going to doubt yourself, because in your perception, maybe that time frame isn't realistic. So this is a hard one to do, because a lot of people want goals, want them achieved, and they want them achieved in a short period of time as possible. But the bigger the goal and the shorter the time frame, the more likely you are to have self-doubt. So take that pressure off yourself, consider giving yourself some more time to achieve that goal, and watch what happens to your self-doubt. And the fifth and the final thing, as I said, is if you're pursuing a fantasy, so you set this goal and you think it's going to be all great, and you see all the positives and you don't see the negatives, your self-doubt is basically your intuition is trying to reveal something you're not seeing. Maybe it's trying to reveal, like I said, this goal isn't that important to you, and why are you even going after this thing? Why are you trying to force yourself to do it? Or maybe it's trying to bring out, well, I don't know what to do, and you get clear on the action plan. Or maybe it's the self-doubt in terms of, well, this goal's really big, I don't know if I can even do it. Or, I'm trying to do it in a short time frame, I think I need to give myself more time. Or a combination of all those things is the reason why you did all those things before is because it's just all positive and you want that now. And you've not looked at the other side of the coin, you've not looked at the costs, you've not looked at all the skills you've got to acquire and the time to acquire those skills in order to achieve that thing. Or you've not taken into account the time it's going to take in terms of just actually getting what you want. Or maybe the financial costs, or the costs in terms of the things you're going to have to sacrifice, the opportunity costs. And basically your self-doubt is like your intuition. It's trying to help you see the other side. It's trying to bring that into your awareness. So rather than letting this, the self-doubt, the intuition come up, just actually take some time and look at, in terms of achieving this goal and dream, in terms of pursuing this, yes, it will be great, but look at what's it going to take? What are all the downsides? What are all the costs? And if you imagine scales, rather than it being imbalanced, which it probably is in terms of the goal or dream you're going after, and there's all these positives and you've got no negatives, maybe just try and take some time and in your mind just balance it out. Look at the costs, look at the downsides, look at the drawbacks you're going to experience in terms of chasing this objective. And when they're balanced, when the scales of your mind is balanced, yep, it's going to be great, I'm going to get money, I'm going to get this, I'm going to get that, positive, positive, positive. But there is a cost to me, and also when I go after it and when I achieve it, there's these possible downsides. And when they're equal, you're not going to have self-doubt. Because if you've got a balanced objective, do you actually want to endure all these things? Is this goal even important enough to you? Do you want to pursue and achieve this goal if it's not that important to you? Because you're going to experience all these downsides. Is it worth it? But if something is really important enough to you and you can see all the downsides and you're willing to embrace that, that's when you know a goal is important to you. And when you've got both sides of the coin, once you can see the positives and the negatives, that is when your intuition is strongest. That's when you're most objective, you're most logical, you're most rational. And you're not having this self-doubt creep in, trying to help you reveal the other side. And that's because self-doubt is basically when you're emotional. But when you see both sides of the coin, you're objective. There's no emotion there. You can see things clearly, logically, rational. And so that really helps in terms of overcoming self-doubt. So that's the video. Just as a quick recap, make sure the goal or objective is important to you if you want to overcome self-doubt. Make sure that you've got a game plan. Make sure you're clear in terms of what you need to do to help you get what you want. Third thing is make sure that if you've got a goal or objective, an action step, make sure you chunk it down into subcomponents, daily bite-sized action steps. The more achievable you perceive the action step, the more likely you are, the more confident you're going to feel in terms of achieving that action step, and that will reduce self-doubt. The fourth thing is just make sure that you're giving yourself enough time to achieve that goal or that action step. And the fifth thing is take some time to look at both sides of the coin. Make sure you're not achieving or going after a fantasy which has all positives and you can't see the negative. Make sure you're pursuing an objective. An objective has both positive and negative. Look for the downsides, look for the costs. Because as I said, when you can see both, is this even a goal or objective you want to pursue? Factoring all of these costs and negatives in. Because if it isn't, then go after a goal or dream which inspires you. Give yourself permission to dump that goal or objective and pursue something else which is important to you. But if it is important to you, great. That's when you know you're on track. And if you factor all 5 of those things in, that is when you're going to overcome self-doubt. And that's the video. So if you like this video, please consider giving it a like. It really helps in terms of getting this video out to more people, and helps me, helps more people. Also, if you want to see more videos like this, make sure you subscribe, hit the subscribe button down below. And whatever you found most valuable, whatever you found most useful in this video, I'd love to hear what that is for you. So just consider leaving a comment down in the comment section below. And that's it. Thank you for watching this video if you got this far, and I'll see you in the next video.